You're born in 1838, just a year after Queen Victoria takes the throne. Congrats, you're officially part of history. Too bad it kinda sucks. Your parents live out in the countryside, which sounds peaceful until you realize that peaceful means eating once a day, wearing clothes held together by hope, and living with rent-free rats. Oh, and your baths? Whenever it rains, and you slip into a ditch. Congrats, bath time. Your parents hate it. The rats, the cold, the hunger. But no matter how hard they work, nothing changes. So they give up their own dreams and pin all of them on you. So they shoot their last shot, a letter to some friends in London, the magical land of coal smoke and horse poop, begging for any job that pays in something other than starvation. A few days later, a letter arrives. Jackpot. A wealthy London family needs a servant. You. Next thing you know, you're on a shaky coach to London for the first time in your life. It's loud, it smells weird, and the buildings are huge. When you arrive, a stone-faced housekeeper greets you with the warmth of a Victorian ice cube. She shows you a room the size of a closet you'll be sharing with two other girls who are already too tired to care that you exist. You're told to get ready. Your new job starts now. And just like that, you're thrown into the endless spin cycle of servant life. Up at 5 a.m., scrub floors like your life depends on it. Empty chamber pots that test your gag reflex. Haul coal like a Victorian gym rat. You work until 10 p.m., sometimes later. And at the end of the day, you collapse into bed so fast, you're asleep before your face hits the straw. You survive like this for 3 years. That's over 1,000 days of scrubbing, hauling, starving, and missing your family every single minute. The only thing keeping you going? The letters they send, thanking you for the money, and unknowingly for sacrificing your sanity. Then, one morning, it happens. The mistress looks at you, like really looks at you, and just like you feared, that kind of attention never ends well. Sure enough, her charming son, let's call him Lord Entitled McSofthands, claims you're the one who stole his mother's pearl necklace. You didn't. You've never even seen the necklace. You don't even know where she keeps her jewelry. But hey, who needs facts when you've got blind trust in rich boys? You plead your innocence. They respond with a beating. Then you're tossed into the street like yesterday's trash, wearing the same uniform you've scrubbed floors in for the last 1,000 days. No job, no money. Suddenly, scrubbing a toilet at 5 a.m. doesn't sound so bad. Your savings disappear faster than your dignity. No one will hire you. Apparently, being falsely accused makes you untrustworthy. Wild. Going home? Not an option. You can't show up empty-handed with shame and bruises as your only souvenirs. So you wander and starve and wonder how long it'll take before the streets finish what your job started. Then one day, you notice something. A pattern. At night, certain women gather on specific street corners. Not chatting, not waiting for a cab, just standing. Then men approach, money is exchanged, and the women vanish into the alleys or carriages. Yeah, that kind of work. At first, you swear you'd never, but after days of hunger gnawing at your insides like a rabid squirrel, your morals start losing the argument, fast. You finally gather the courage, find a dark street, and join the women. And then fate delivers one last punchline. No one picks you. Night after night, you stand in the cold, invisible even in the one place you'd hope to be seen. No food, no clients, just you and rejection. The world's most humiliating version of rock bottom. Right when you think you've reached the absolute bottom, standing on a street corner hoping to sell yourself and still getting ghosted, a friend gives you a lifeline. She knows a madam, owns a brothel in London. There's food, a bed, and actual pay. The catch? You'll make less than if you were freelancing on the street. So basically, more dignity, less cash. Not like you're swimming in options, so you nod and say, sure, because what else are you going to do? Starve politely? The next day, you're led into the brothel. It smells like someone spilled gin, regret, and a bucket of urine, and then just let it marinate. The rooms are tiny, the wallpaper's peeling. The rats don't even scurry anymore. They just make eye contact like, welcome to the club. The madam gives you a once-over like she's shopping for cheap meat. After a long, uncomfortable silence, she just says, she'll do. And just like that, you're hired. Congrats. Your training program? One night of watching. The sun sets, and then it begins. The front pub fills with drunken men, laughing, shouting, slamming drinks like it's a party, not a warm-up act for industrial-strength trauma. Eventually, they stumble up the stairs like a wave of beer-scented doom. One by one, they disappear into rooms. The women follow. More men come. Then more. The violence, the yelling, the sheer math of it. So many men, so few women. You're frozen with fear. You think, there's no way I can do this. And then breakfast shows up. It's not great. Bread that doubles as a doorstop. But it fills your stomach. That's something you haven't felt in a while. Then comes lunch. Actual lunch. And like magic, your survival instinct kicks in. Sun sets again. The pub roars to life. The men are back. Cold-dusted workers, sweaty sailors, and half-conscious soldiers, all drenched in gin and bad decisions. Tonight, it's your turn. And spoiler alert, it's every bit as awful as you imagined. The clients don't care if you cry. They barely notice if you speak. You tell yourself you'll get through it, one night at a time. Because somehow, this is better than starving in the street. The next morning, you get paid. Well, paid is generous. After the madam takes her cut, plus food, rent, and a fee for existing, you're left with a shiny little shilling. One single shilling. But you adapt. You learn to stretch every penny, hide your savings like treasure, and still send enough home to keep your parents from asking questions you can't answer. Months pass, then a year, and somehow you've become what some might call an expert. When clients get violent, which is often, you know how to de-escalate, or if that fails, how to take the hit and keep going. You learn how not to get pregnant, which is crucial. You've seen what happens when the others don't. It never ends well, ever. You keep clean, you keep quiet, you never steal, you always look your best, because appearances are currency now. Men start asking for you by name. They pay more. They treat you slightly better. Emphasis on slightly. The madam notices. She always notices when the coins stack up. You're now one of her most valuable assets. And she trusts you, because you don't steal, don't fight, and make her rich. In this business, trust is basically a diamond. Among your regulars, one man stands out. He's different. Well-dressed, polite, speaks like he swallowed a dictionary. He doesn't belong here, and he knows it. But here he is anyway, spending time with girls like you. At just 16, you finally saved enough to leave. A real escape plan, something better than this. But just when you think you're getting out, the whole thing burns down. It starts like any other night. Drunken yelling, glass breaking, the usual chorus of bad decisions. Then, bang! The front door crashes open. For a second, no one breathes. Then heads turn. Then the screaming starts. It's the police. The room erupts into chaos. Screaming, running, women ducking under tables, men scrambling to pull their pants up. And you just stand there, frozen, because you know everything's about to fall apart. Before you can move, the police swarm the pub like a tidal wave of batons and bad intentions. They beat anyone in sight. Clients, workers, doesn't matter. Some people run, some try to fight. The rest just sit down and accept their fate. You manage to slip out the back. You run, you hide. For hours, you stay curled up in an alley, heart pounding like it's trying to escape before you do. Eventually, when the streets calm down, you sneak back into the brothel, hoping somehow it's all just over. Nope, it's worse. What you walk into looks like a battlefield. Tables flipped, glass shattered, blood on the floors, the walls. Some women are still there, dazed, limping, bleeding, silent. You find one sitting in a corner. She tells you through sobs they took everyone, the clients, the girls, even the madam. That stops you cold, because you know about the madam's deal. She pays the cops regularly. That's how this place stayed open. That's how you stayed safe. So why the raid? You could leave. You have your savings, miraculously untouched, enough to disappear, start over, maybe never look back. But you can't. You've seen the real madam, the woman who fed you when you were starving, who protected you when she didn't have to. You're not just a worker anymore. You're loyal. So yeah, you go to the police station, and there she is, behind bars, bruised but still glaring at anyone who looks at her too long. You ask why this happened. The answer? A new boss. Some reformer with a stick up his coat who doesn't want bribes. He wants every brothel in the slums wiped off the map, starting with hers. You leave the station crushed. She's not getting out. You walk the city aimlessly, heart heavy, mind racing. And just when you think it can't get worse, he shows up. That refined regular of yours, clean coat, clean voice, clean hands. Too clean for a place like this. He sees your face and immediately asks what happened. You hesitate. He's a client, not a friend. But something in his voice makes you answer. You tell him everything. And then comes the shocker. He leans in, lowers his voice, and says, "I can help." You blink, laugh nervously. Sure he can. But he's serious, dead serious. Turns out his father is an aristocrat, the kind of man who makes decisions before the police even know there's a meeting. He can talk to the new police superintendent, pressure him, get the madam and the others out. There's only one catch. You'll owe him. What he wants in return? He doesn't say, but he makes one thing crystal clear. You have a choice. Option 1, let him help and pay him back later with whatever he wants. Option 2, figure out how to free the madam yourself, with no money, no power, and no plan. Yeah, you picked option 1. A few days later, just like he promised, the madam and the others walk free. Bruised, tired, but free. You expect things to go back to normal, but then the madam drops a bomb. She's done. That raid, that was her final straw. She's out. As a parting gift, she sets you up with a contact, if you want to keep going. But before you can even consider it, guess who shows up again? Your aristocrat. This time, he has an offer. There's a brothel in the West End. High class, no slums, no cops breaking down doors. His rich little friend group practically funds the place. He can get you in, no application required. But, surprise, surprise, it'll cost you, even more than before. You think about it. Madam's contact runs another slum brothel, just like the one you barely survived. Meanwhile, the West End option? Rich clients, better pay, less blood. It's not a real choice. You accept, and instantly, you're in a different world. The new brothel looks like a royal suite. Velvet everything, gold frame mirrors, rooms that smell like perfume instead of vomit, actual hot water, real food, soap. Your clients? Officers, politicians, foreign dignitaries with heavy wallets and polished shoes. They speak softly, wear cologne, and tip generously. There's no violence here, no screaming, no broken chairs or bruises in the morning. You make in a week what used to take you a year. But here's the thing, you're still selling your body. You're just doing it on nicer sheets. The velvet under you feels soft, but it's still a cage. But for now, you survive. The same society that tossed you out over a necklace you never even saw now lines its pockets with the very thing it claimed to protect, your body. But the men who keep this place running, the ones who slip out of your room before sunrise with their rings still on, they get to walk away untouched. You're not a monster. You're not broken. You're just a girl who wanted a life, not a sentence. And now, you're still here, powdering your face, fixing your hair, waiting for the next knock on the door. You could leave. You have enough saved. But you can't. Not yet. Because you still owe him, the aristocrat's son. And debts like his don't disappear just because you have a few coins in a bag. Try to leave without his blessing, and he'll find you. That's not a threat, it's a fact. So you stay, you smile, you survive.